So I came back from Germany, and Nick took me to this chap, and the chap said, look, there's no easy way to say, I don't know how the hell you do it. He said, you're going to be effectively totally deaf in 7 years' time. I went back to Catherine and said, no point coming, because I'm not going to be able to hear you. It's different from my sister-in-law in some ways, because she's been with Peter 25 years when he started going deaf, and therefore you go through the journey with him. That was a little bit of a shock, and I kept on going for another 7 years at work, and then I made a foul up on buying some books from America. Not obviously that the deal was done on telephone conversation, but I'd said to Nick it was such and such, and when the contract came over, it was £10,000 more. I had to go back to Julian in America and say, I'm sorry, I misheard you, I thought it was less. Anyway, in the end, we settled for a midway point. And Nick said, well, actually, that could be quite a good campaigning thing, negotiating thing. I said, I don't think so. So then I was 59, and I've got to go, I can't, I'm a liability now. So off I went, and then, as I've said to you before though, sometimes black clouds are silver linings. I said to you before about my brother who went deaf as I am or whatever, and then went out and did a huge job in Egypt, not speaking Arabic. I take my hat off to him, I really do, because I just drew in to myself. And I suppose you adapt to it as well, but I mean, I got offered a couple of, anybody who goes through 40 odd or 30 odd years of a particular career and they think, oh, he's quite good at chairing meetings or whatever, then you get offered other stuff. And I sort of say, no, I can't do it because I can't hear. It limited in that extent. And in fact, I said to you, I told you that not being confirmed, what they do is they ring round and see who would be interested in being involved. But I got phoned up by somebody at the BBC Religious Affairs Department about the book and said, would you be interested? Now, it happened to be on the Friday after I'd been here the second time. If she'd phoned on the Wednesday, I'd have said no. Because she phoned on the Friday and I was all fully geared up and set up, I said, yeah, I'm ready to go, I'll do it. So that is, an immediate response.
Yes.
You just keep your fingers crossed that they're actually
demonstrates the opportunities that you may be missing as well.
Yes, oh yes. It's also, you still, as I said to you, you have changed my life to a degree, but it's still the little things sometimes you miss. But the funny thing is, the other day out with this friend from Sweden, and it was quite a noisy pub, and he kept on saying, I can't hear you, I can't hear you. And I was hearing him perfectly because this was taking out the extraneous noise. Yeah. And he said, you taking the mick, Hayward? I said, no, I told you, it's these. Anyway.
Send him along to us.
Yes, absolutely. It's just absolutely fantastic.
I think you said in one communication how you felt you'd got your life back.
Yes. Oh, yes. Well, yeah, you could tell. I love talking to people, and love talking to strangers and all the rest of it. The way you open your life. Adam actually said the other day, he said, are you going to rescind your view about not going to parties in houses because of the hearing? I said, well, let's see how it runs. But I mean, that would be a major change.
Yes.
Because I'd actually written off that part of my life. And going to the theatre, hardly ever. I mean, I know there are theatres where I can get the headphones and it goes directly into the ear. But theatres don't have that, then that's it. You say, oh, no, I'm not going to bother. Some of the best friends have been people you meet by accident. Obviously I've got friends at school, university and all the rest of it, but I mean, there's one bloke who's a really good friend who we just got talking in a pub one day, and I'm not a pub person at all, nor is he really, but we just bonded. But if I'd been like I was 2 weeks ago, I wouldn't have even bothered to say hello. So you get the response and away you go. Yeah. What impressed me about you and about QBEX is the standard of care and the follow-up and the very close awareness of the hearing loss, as it were, and seeing how you can match the hearing aids to that hearing loss. And as I say, as far as I'm concerned, got the old mobile app on here. Fantastic. That's absolutely fantastic. You can talk to anybody, everybody. You hear things. You can hear things on the train. Before, I'd have to wait for the notice to finish. Now say to somebody, can you tell me what they just said on the voiceover? I can't hear it, I'm deaf. But now I can hear it. I think when people go deaf, you get the hearing aids. Sometimes the hearing aids, you get the greater volume and you're hearing people coming in, but you don't get the clarity. And that is what has changed here. Sat down and said, what do you need it for? What's your life? Everything. So you knew exactly what I wanted. And these aids are very, very good. It's still, it's not the hearing aids part or Adam's part. There's still sometimes a lack of clarity on the end of a sentence or something. But by and large, I can hear the, what the conversation was, which is very, very important.